hello everybody. This short video, hopefully relatively short, is just to sort of explain the discussion board posts, how to approach them and whatnot. So let's begin with just kind of some important notes. Number one, as I've mentioned before, there are no right or wrong answers. I'm not looking for something specific. What I'm looking for is your exploration, if you will, of a topic as you kind of explore or think about something. Number two, of course, all work must be your own, so you can't copy it from the internet or use any sort of AI generation software. Really, again, the point here is generative, that you're thinking about things, that you're practicing writing in a professional environment. All work must be spelling and grammar checked, just as you would if you were sending out an email to a colleague. You want to make sure that things are spelling and grammar checked, whether you use something like Grammarly or you use something like the software on Google Docs or whatnot. Whatever you want to use is fine. And then all responses should be thoughtful and use a tone suitable for a professional environment. And if you're not sure what that is, make sure that you watch that video as well. So the initial response, so again, it's a two-tiered assignment. So you need to post your initial response to the prompt by Wednesday of each week, and you will need to respond to that initial post before you can respond to your peers. Your response should be at least 100 words, and you may link to any appropriate outside sources. Again, if you are linking to outside sources, it is your responsibility to make sure they're appropriate and that the links are good. Now, one thing that isn't on here is that with number 3, that 100 words, you need to include your word count at the bottom in brackets. And Canvas will tell you what the word count is, but it needs to be at least 100 words for you to get the full points. And so that initial response is worth 3 points of the 5 points. Now, for your responses, you need to respond to 2 of your classmates by Friday. So your initial post is Wednesday, and then you have a couple days to respond to your classmates. The reason I do it this way is so that there's something to respond to. Your comments should be at least 50 words per response. Again, you should be including your word count at the bottom. Your responses should be detailed and thoughtful, and you should try to respond to a post that has not yet received any comments. What tends to happen, as I'm sure you all know, is that in a discussion board, whatever that first post is, that's what everybody responds to, and there will be 15 responses to the very first post, and if you scroll down the 10th or 11th post, nobody's responding to it. You may ask each other questions in order to further the discussion. I encourage you to do so. Ask for clarifications. Ask for whether or not they've thought about something else, right? Don't just say, yeah, I like it. And then lastly, remember, it's a professional academic environment. So again, that idea of tone. So let's just look at a common prompt. So here's one from a similar type of class. So the prompt: considering this week's reading and video lectures, please consider the importance of watching video lectures and completing all reading prior to responding to the discussion board. So minimum response of 100 words. So that's what you would be responding to however you see fit, bringing in whatever you feel is appropriate, either from the reading or discussions. So a sample response might be something like this. Since we're operating in a hybrid class, it's important to make sure that we log into discussion boards on Wednesday to respond to the initial prompts of the blah, 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 right? So you could pause and read through all that. And then they have 101 words. So really 100 words isn't that much, right? Very easy to kind of hit 100 words, just avoid the filler. It's not necessary. Now, if instead a student had written, we need to do the reading and watching the video lecture so we know what we'll be talking about each week, not only is it too short, but it really isn't telling us anything. And thirdly, it's clearly not spelling or grammar checked. Another one, sample response to a classmate. In your response to prompt, you mentioned that we have to do the reading and watch the video lectures to engage with each other. I think we probably could have a discussion about the topics without watching them, right? So again, 77 words. So it's 27 words over the minimum. Pretty normal. And they have a question here at the end, which kind of helps further the discussion. A not so good response would be something like this. I agree. I think it's a good idea to read all this stuff in the week's module. Again, not grammar, spelling check, too short, doesn't have the word count, and it's really not telling us much. Yeah, I mean, based on the prompt, it's sort of a leading question. Why is it important? That indicates to us, right? It implies that it is important. So we want to do more than just say, yeah, okay, it's important. So there you go, 5-minute-ish video on the discussion boards. So just make sure Wednesday, you're responding to the initial prompt in 100 words, and that you're responding to 2 of your classmates by Friday in a minimum of 50 words each. So that's only 200 words per week, and that will help you. That incremental work on writing will help you improve in the long term. If you have questions, comments, concerns, jokes, memes, or recipes, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you all